everyone, and welcome to Those Forking Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy, book, TV, movie, pop culture, fandoms, and how they integrate into our adult lives. I'm Natasha.
And I am Christine.
It's 104K. That's how I was sounding. Okay, so today we're doing something a little off-kilter, maybe.
Off-kilter?
I don't know. About the male loneliness epidemic.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting conversation. Coming at it from like what we've been hearing around the internet. Like I'll talk about what I said to Natasha, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, this and this," and then we're like, "Should we talk about this on the podcast?"
There's a few little factors that have, like, you know, in our little corner.
Yeah, it's kind of clocked our attention, and we feel, why not talk about it with the fangirl girlies up in here? But first, of course, we've got a bunch of Snap Crackle Pop Culture news, and this is all not confirmed yet, but I'm very excited about it. Starting with Charlie Plummer, who played in Looking for Alaska the lead role. He's in talks to play Haymitch in Sunrise on the Reaping, which is very exciting.
I can't picture this person.
Okay, you didn't see the picture I posted on my story the
I
other day?
did.
He's got,
Maybe
like,
I don't know
blonde hair.
him.
Okay, you didn't watch Looking for Alaska, I think. But Google him. He looks a lot like young Haymitch, and I really love his acting and his vibe, and I think he could do a really good job. Google him from Looking for Alaska. And Ralph Fiennes is in talks to play middle-aged President Snow, which is weird because he's already played a very iconic villain, but it's not like he's going to look anything like that iconic villain in the role of President Snow. It is weird, though. A lot of people are saying, like, wow, if only Donald Sutherland had a middle-aged child who looks exactly like him.
That would be so great.
That would be really great, but maybe he's not interested or something. Or I don't know. Maybe he's not a good blend of young Snow and old Snow. I don't know. Metal says, I don't want Ralph Fiennes to play him. Only one iconic villain per actor.
I'm sorry. Ralph Fiennes has played several iconic villains.
He's played a lot of villains. That's his, like, stereotype.
I was just watching him in Made in Manhattan. I'm like, wow, this is his only, like, normal role.
And there's been one other, like, not news item, but, like, the news update places are reporting that Kieran Culkin is in talks to star as Caesar Flickerman in the Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping.
Oh,
so that's, like, a younger Caesar Flickerman, which, I mean, I love Kieran Culkin, so that's beautiful. I do think that they could still have Stanley Tucci play Caesar Flickerman. I mean, it's 25 years younger, yes, but they could just, like, make him look younger.
This is like a Made in Manhattan reunion because Stanley Tucci is also in Made in Manhattan.
Okay, can I just also, I forgot about that. But Sam just said, I hope Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson make a cameo. They're not born yet. What are you talking about?
I feel like, I mean, I haven't read the book. I did just download it. What?
Download it? Yeah.
On Audible, so I feel
Nice.
like can they jump forward to him later?
I mean, they could. There is, like, the end scene, we do jump forward. So I guess they could be in it, but
because, like, he kind of got a happy ending with Effie, right? Not really.
I mean, not with Effie, but, like, he got to live with Peeta and Katniss and kind of be a little family. We'll see. I guess the flash forward, maybe they could do a cameo. I was just, like, thinking the main movie, and I was like, what are you talking about? Natasha, do you have anything on the news?
Yes. Okay, so this is coming from CinemaCon, I think. So CinemaCon is, like, the new Comic-Con, I feel.
It's for movies solely, like, concentrated on movies, which is
cool. But they had several presentations. People got to watch the new How to Train Your Dragon live action. Oh my gosh. Disney had a whole presentation. They had, like, a whole intro with the Thunderbolts. That's where they debuted Wicked for Good poster. I want to go next year. This is the new con to go to. We got to get pressed, Christine. We're going. It's in Las Vegas in April.
Oh, nice. Nice and easy to get to, honestly.
Yes. Go visit Katie while we're at it.
Yeah.
But Disney announced there that they are pausing the live action Rapunzel remake due to the underperformance of Snow White. So, Snow White, I think did 145 million in its opening weekend, including.
Those are two very different live action productions. So it's weird that they'd correlate them so closely.
Well, because they feel the last two Little Mermaid and Snow White underperformed compared to Lion King, which did like 750 in the box office, and Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. So, they were in the pre-production stage of casting talent, and Michael Gracie, who directed The Last Showman, was set to direct.
Oh man, not The Last Showman. You mean The Greatest Showman?
Sorry, The Greatest Showman. So there's a pause there, which honestly, I feel like that's for the best.
Sure. I mean, all the live actions have been
not great.
All right, a little White Lotus news. Season 3 finale drew 6.2 million viewers. That's 30% higher than the week before, and 2.5 times higher than the premiere. That's pulling numbers that we were seeing on television in like the year 2009. Like, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of That's
a lot of live viewers.
Like, what
television?
What were the like viewers for Game of Thrones in the end?
I mean, I don't have those numbers, but I know like CW shows pull in like 1 million viewers per week and stuff on television back in the day. And there was like the main network shows, if they were pulling in like 6 million viewers, that'd be wild, because that was at the time where like TV was kind of going down in numbers.
The final season of Game of Thrones was averaging 46 million viewers.
Live though? This is
across
live.
Platforms. Yeah.
Okay. But like across platforms is like after a week. Like this was the day it aired. Like it was crazy.
The series finale had 13.6 million viewers. So I don't know if that's live.
Yeah. I mean, what was so crazy about this was like the day after. So
yeah, I still haven't watched it.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you still haven't watched it. This is wild.
Well, we're going to watch it after we finish this episode.
Cool. All right, what do you have here?
Spider-Man 4 movie title has been revealed. It's called Spider-Man Brand New Day.
It's a brand new day. Go for a walk outside.
This is the fourth Spider-Man movie. It's coming after Avengers Doomsday in July. So Avengers Doomsday comes out in May of 2026, and then Spider-Man 4 comes out July 31st, 2026.
It's giving the image of Tobey Maguire walking down the street to raindrops keep falling on my head.
Yep.
I'm excited. All right, this was a random fact, but like the Minecraft movie is doing so well and people are loving it. And it's projected to debut at $163 million in its opening weekend. It surpassed Barbie to be the third biggest Warner Brothers opening ever. Yeah. That's insanity to me.
Oh my gosh.
Like, who knew? I mean, my brother loves Minecraft, and my ex-boyfriend loved Minecraft, so I'm just like, boys love Minecraft, girls love Minecraft too.
The gaming community loves Minecraft.
The kids love Minecraft. Yeah.
I kind of am interested to see it.
I hate Minecraft with like a passion. And it's not for any like solid good reason, except that fucking video game was on loud on Paul's TV forever, for hours. And I would be like, I want to watch something. And he'd be like, I'm playing Minecraft, Christine. And that music haunts me when I hear it, my hackles rise. So when I was dating John and he started playing Minecraft, I was like, oh, no, anything but Minecraft, please. Everything's so square, and I hate it so much, and it's so ugly, and everyone's heads are square, and I'm like, what's wrong with this? Not everything's square, and the grass is square, and everything is square. It bothers me so much. I hate squares.
I literally have never, like, Alex didn't play it, so I don't know much about Minecraft.
It's like The Sims, except boring.
Yeah.
Everything's ugly.
You can't have relationships, right?
No, you make like farms and you can like find your friends, but like it gives me a headache and I hate it. And I'm sorry everyone who loves Minecraft. Yeah, like you build towers and like you farm farms and you have pigs and stuff. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's just funny because I'm watching this show called The Studio on Apple TV, and literally it's about Seth Rogen trying to make the Kool-Aid into a movie, like Kool-Aid into a movie.
Yeah, I know.
Because Barbie did so well, and so like, yeah, we just gotta get like well-known trademark
Scorsese
products and make them into movies, just like Barbie. Speaking of, I'm wearing my Barbie sweatshirt.
Did you see that Verity has wrapped and it's coming to theaters May 2026?
That feels so quick.
And it feels so far.
May 2026? Yeah, it's like that's when Avengers is coming.
And then Regretting You is coming October of this year.
What?
I know. I feel like we're just like really not seeing it on the timeline that these things are happening. And I feel like after it ends with us, we went really dark on like sharing details about filming these movies.
I feel like Regretting You is still filming, isn't it? They just...
I don't know, but she just posted that it's coming to theaters in October.
What?
I know. Wild. I mean, I'm excited. It's going to be exciting. That's a new Colleen's coming in October. It's crazy.
Wow, a new Colleen movie every year.
Yeah. Wow. Well, hitting the iron while it's hot. Is that the saying?
I don't know. I'm not a good person to come with this. I always get sayings wrong.
Striking the iron while it's hot, maybe.
Hot. That's it.
Romance Con. You want to tell them about Romance Con?
Romance Con is coming September 5th and 6th. Christine and I will be attending Romance Con with those 4 King fangirls. Christine will be there as an author. She'll have a table and signing books. Hopefully her fourth book.
My fourth book.
Will be there. And we'll have a panel
from Ireland. Sorry.
If you guys want to come, we have a code for 50% off.
15% off, just in case you heard it wrong.
15% off.
I don't want anyone to think we're going to get 50% off.
I always get 15 and 50. It's always... Anyways, use the code Fangirl if you want to attend. It's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Come. It's so much fun. And we're going to be doing so much stuff. So very excited. All right. And last on our Snap Crackle Pop Culture news is that have you ever thought that you liked Survivor so much that you wanted to see Survivor more and like maybe play it, but not actually leave your house, like play it from the comfort of your home with food? Then boy, have I got the book for you. It's called Attached at the Hip by author Christine Riccio. She is a New York Times bestselling author, and she's from New Jersey, and she is me. This book,
I wouldn't have even thought that.
I know. I was being really like sleuthy about it. So coy. But I wrote a book that if you like Survivor, I think you'll really like it. It's Survivor with a romantic twist. So if you like romance and Survivor, this is the book for you. The link is in the show notes. It's my most recent book child. I love it so much, and it's like watching a season of Survivor. And I'm not just saying that. A lot of people have said it in their reviews.
Well, I wish it was an actual show so we could watch it.
I know, me too. I hope someday we do get to watch it. So it's out now, as are my other two books, Again But Better and Better Together. They're for free on Kindle Unlimited if you have Kindle Unlimited. And so if you haven't read them yet, you can read them there for free. And what else do I have to say here? If you have read any of my books, if you enjoyed them, it would mean the world to me if you took a second to review them on Amazon, if you read them there, or barnesandnoble.com, or any place like that where you devour books. Reviewing them really is so helpful, because that is how those sites plop into the algorithm to promote books to new readers. And that's incredibly important for small authors' careers to blossom and keep moving. So if you have done that, I know I say it every week, but like, it's so important that I have to say it every week. And I really, really appreciate you taking the time to do that. It means a lot, because I love authoring and I want to keep doing it. Moving on into what right now? Natasha, what are you reading right now?
Right now, I just finished Christine's 4th novel. Speaking of, have you announced the title yet?
I haven't, but I'm going to very soon.
Okay.
Tafafa right now.
Oh, Tafafa. I finished Tafafa. I was at like the 80% mark, and with the phone being stolen and all that, like, and starting off at school, I had to get back into it. And I literally Zoom sped through the last 20% of the book. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And I cried, and I can't even go through all the motions because it would probably be spoilers. But I'm so excited for you guys to read it.
Yay. I'm so happy you finished. Thank you for reading it. It means a lot. Love
You're
you.
very welcome. I love you.
Natasha's going to blurb it.
I am going to blurb it. I got to figure out how I'm going to blurb it.
I'm in the blurbing era of this novel, so I'm like reaching out for blurbs, and it's so scary. I have so much anxiety.
I've told her she's not allowed to send anything without my permission.
I sent you 2 other drafts to look at.
I saw one, and I got overwhelmed. I was like, okay, I gotta fix this later.
But anyway, thank you, and I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And I have read a lot since we last talked about what right now. I've read Ali Hazelwood's Check and Mate, which I absolutely loved. I did the audiobook on Spotify, and this is her young adult novel. It is narrated by Carissa Vacker, who is fantastic audiobook narrator. She did Siri's voice on Better Together. If you ever listened to that audiobook, she's done a ton of other ones too, but that's what I remember.
It's your book.
But I loved Check and Mate. It's like up in the top 3 Ali Hazelwood books for me right now. Then I read Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Is that another sunset, babe? You can't not sing the title of that book. Whenever I see it, I'm like, say you'll remember me. So I really enjoyed Say You'll Remember Me. It sounds like it's going to be sad because, I mean, if you've read Addie LaRue, like Say You'll Remember Me gives that in my head. Oh. And it also gives like memory loss, and it gives like death.
A notebook.
Yeah, it gives also like a walk to remember. Like I was just like, what are we getting into? But it's not anything to do with our 2 leads that is upsetting, so we don't have to worry about that. I feel like knowing that up front is very helpful. It was really good, just like all of Abby Jimenez's books are. I loved it, and I read it in like 5 seconds.
Is it a new favorite, or is it like in the middle?
It's not my favorite. My favorite is still Part of Your World and Yours Truly. Mm-hmm. Those 2 are my favorite. I did really enjoy it, but it is like the first half is really fun, and then the second half it's like more like serious, and and it's really good, but it's not as light as some of the ones that have like kind of levity throughout, you know? I think okay, like her mother has dementia, and that's like it's a weight throughout the whole book. And thinking about that, and if you have had any relative that has gone through Alzheimer's or dementia, like you're kind of flashing to your own experience all the time, and it can be sad. It's beautifully written, and the way that she talks about it is beautiful and very well done, but it's got a heaviness to it, you know, that prevents it from being like, I want to read it again. But there are very funny parts too. Obviously, Abby Jimenez is hilarious.
Yes.
And that's not a spoiler. Like, she talks about it in the first 2 chapters. It's like the premise of the book. And I also read Everything About You by Robbie Webber, which is really cute. This is his new novel coming out in September, and he asked me to blurb it. So I got an early copy, and it's like a rivals to lovers internship, summer internship at like a really fancy fashion house in Paris.
Ooh.
Yeah. And he is like super competitive and worked really hard to get this internship. And he was supposed to be the only apprentice there. And then there's a job offer at the end of it. But there's the child of a model and the brother of a famous football player also shows up. His name is Rhodes. He's really cute, but he's like a Nepo baby, and he's got some bias, not Rhodes, but like our lead character has bias toward Rhodes, even though he thinks he's really cute. He's like, he doesn't deserve to be here. And there's some competitiveness because now there's one job and there's 2 apprentices, and they're both vying for it. Yeah. But they're also in crush with each other.
Cute. That's coming out in September.
Yes, it's coming out in September. It's called
What does your
Everything About
blurb
You.
say?
Everything About You is competitive, inspiring, witty, and deliciously sweet. All the ingredients for the perfect cutthroat summer romance. Get dressed. Robbie's taking us to Paris.
That's so cute.
Thanks.
I gotta learn. I gotta go start looking at blurbs.
I know. Just look at a bunch of blurbs and then you're like, okay.
Got the hang of it.
All right. What have you been watching this week?
Okay, I'm so sorry. I keep getting like yawn attacks. I started Paradise, the show that Christine was watching a couple weeks ago that she talked about, that Isaiah, was that his name? Isaiah?
No.
From This Is Us.
Oh, it's Sterling Brown.
Sterling Brown.
Sterling K. Brown.
Was on Armchair Expert, and I started it because you really liked it, and I'm really enjoying it. Little bit. The first episode, you're like, what?
I know.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's a suspenseful thriller.
Slow burn. Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely, I can see the This Is Us aspects. Like a little bit. It's got a taste of networking in it, which when Alex watched it,
it definitely has a taste of network television because it's on network television.
Yeah, Alex immediately got turned off, and he's like, "I'm not watching this. You go ahead and watch it." We watched like the first 2 episodes, and then there's a whole thing about like a kid wanting to ride the horse, like the like little pony horse thing, and he's like, "No." But I'm enjoying it. I want.
Kayla likes it too.
Yeah, Kayla likes it too. Our friend Kayla. And then there's a new show, I talked about it earlier, called The Studio on Apple TV with Seth Rogen. And it is a anxiety-ridden bear show, but more funny, not as serious. Catherine Hahn's in it. She's my favorite part of the whole thing. And a lot of like one-shots types of situations. A lot of oneers. And he plays a studio executive, but he's in love with the movie industry. But he gets the job to head up this.
To cut movies apart.
I'm getting there. He gets a job to head up the studio, and he becomes his worst nightmare. Because he understands there's like a balance between having to play the evil villain of like cutting up movies and wrecking people's dreams because they have to make money, but also wanting to be able to create cinema. And he's falling into that, and you're watching it, and you're going with him as he's like ruining things, and he's becoming what he doesn't want to become, and it's so anxiety driven, it's almost unbearable. Okay,
it hurts me.
It hurts me. Okay,
like he's just caught. He's like one of those people who loves movies so much and he wants to make art.
Yes.
And they're like, you have to make the Kool-Aid movie or you're fired. And he's like, how can I make the Kool-Aid movie art? That's the whole first episode. I'm like,
oh my. And then the second episode, he goes on set, and they're like, why is he on set? He's gonna make everyone anxious. We're doing this one shot, and oh my God, he fucks things up. And I was literally like my head underneath my sweatshirt. I'm like, I can't watch this.
I just was too anxious to watch it. I think another time I would have thought it more funny than anxiety ridden, but like watching it now, I was like, this is more anxious than funny to me right now.
Yeah, especially in our landscape of...
Yeah, it's very real. Like I can feel it.
Yeah. So if you want to feel anxious and also laugh at the same time, maybe
Seth
I
Rogen's
recommend
The Studio. On Apple TV Plus.
I won't watch it without Alex. Alex will make me watch it, so I will keep you all updated. What have you been watching?
I caught up with Yellow Jackets, and it's wild but good again. Like, there was one episode with a lot of dream sequences that made me think, like, oh no, what are we doing? But now we're back on track, and it's about to end. There's one episode left. So I'm excited to see how they wrap. Everyone's batshit crazy. It's just batshit. Like, we're to the point where, like, they need to be rescued. And I'm like, how? Like, it's like Lost when you're like, you get to the point where it's like, how the fuck did they get rescued? And you're at the end of like season 4 and you start doing those flash forwards, but we've already been doing flash forwards this whole time. So it's like, I need the connective tissue and we better get it in this last episode.
I know Christine's trying to entice me to finish it, and it's on our list. We will be watching it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it ends, but I've been enjoying the season, and I'm sad it's over. Like, you can tell if they know it's over because we're streamlining now. Like, we're running towards the end. There was literally like finally a reference to the opening scene of the show in this last episode that I watched. You remember how the opening scene we never got to come full circle in the first season?
I don't remember the opening.
The opening scene, like they're in the snow, there's a fire, and they're eating someone, and the girl runs and falls into that pit and stuff at the very beginning. Okay, and we never came back around to that. Like, we finally see like seeds of that scene coming, and what if they end the show with the lead up to that scene?
No,
I hope not. Please don't do that. I could deal with it starting the last episode with that scene, but we're still like, I need the connective tissue with how we got there. Anyway, Yellow Jackets, a lot of fun, very wild. Survivor 48 has been so good. So I'm really enjoying watching that every Wednesday. I was on Survivor Now's Survivor Social podcast, I think 2 weeks ago now, to talk about the episode with Eva. If you've been watching, you know what I'm talking about. It was one of like the most iconic episodes in Survivor history. I think it'll go down as. It was so heartfelt. I cried. It was beautiful. And it's a good season to catch up with. I got a text from Olivia the other day, and she was like, is this season of Survivor good? And I was like, yes, it is. And then she's like, is it boring? And I was like, no, I just said it was good. It was great. Go watch it. There was one season of Survivor, I think it was season 43, that was kind of boring. And she and Brian stopped watching. And then they never came back to it. She just assumed every other season was boring, even though they've all been fantastic, and I'm annoyed. So hopefully she turned it on when I told her it wasn't boring. And of course, I watched the White Lotus finale. It was great, but I figured out what was going to happen beforehand, so I wasn't as excited as I was watching. I think season 2 is the strongest season so far.
The gays.
Jennifer
Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge, like you can't top that. And April Ludgate and Megan Fahey and Four from
Theo
Divergent.
James.
Yeah, like they had such a fun cast. And this season was great too, but it just wasn't as fun. We're missing like the fun aspect that we had in every episode of season 2.
I heard like they're like, we should do an all-star cast and bring like people
he
back.
said that.
Oh,
he wants to do
that?
an all-star cast. Yes.
Please.
Like Survivor All-Stars.
Yeah.
It's totally Survivor reference. My 3 says Yellow Jackets has consumed my life. Yes. All right. What have you been watching movie-wise? You watched The Life List?
I did. I
like
watched
it?
a life list. We follow, what's the actress's name from Descendants?
The girl from The Descendants.
Sophia Carson.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom dies of cancer.
Connie
Britton. And she gets they go to get their inheritance, and she doesn't get any inheritance because she has to finish off this list that she made when she was a young girl. Because
her mom says you have to finish it for your inheritance.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Don't prep me.
Well, it just sounded like she just had to finish it for no reason.
Yeah, her mom wanted her to finish it because she believes that she hasn't accomplished what she's wanted to accomplish, and she's gotten really safe in her life. So Christine warned me, and she's like, yeah, there's parental death. I'm like, I know. I think I'm good. And no, I wasn't good.
Okay.
I like sobbed at the very end of it because it was very close to home. So
yeah, it was one of Netflix's better movies, though.
Yeah,
I think for sure they did a really good job with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy is a dancer. He's a ballet dancer in real life.
He is?
Yeah. His name's Kyle
He's
Allen,
so
I think.
cute.
He's so cute.
He would play a great pilot.
He would. Yeah. My friend Julia was like, start following him because if you ever need an actor for pilot, he's probably aging out now. Mm-hmm. But like this was like 3 years ago. And I did start following him and I was like, he's so cute. I watched Y2K, the A24 movie with Rachel Zegler and the kid from It.
When your thoughts?
And it was giving like Booksmart if it was about boys and they were like, it's New Year's Eve 1999 and they really want to like go to a party and like kiss a girl or have sex and but then at midnight the apocalypse happens and it's so camp. Like so all the machinery, Y2K, everyone thought the world was going to end at the year 2000 when like the clock struck midnight because it was like a new millennium, and all of the electronics come to life and start to murder them. And it's all this like 90s electronics. It looks so ridiculous. So it's like kind of funny, like, but it is like all these kids are getting murdered at this party and they're trying to, Rachel Zegler's character is like a hacker and she's trying to figure out how to hack the system so that
save the world.
Save the world, yeah. And I actually think I still have like 15 minutes left on it.
Oh no!
I paused at the very end, but it was just kind of getting to the point where I was like, all right. Everyone dies except for him and Rachel, like very quickly. And there's like these 90s references that I don't even get because like I was too young. So.
Oh.
But they do sing Chumbawamba. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
Is really Chumbawamba the band name?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I think the band name is Chumbawamba, not the song. But you know, I was so young that I only know Chumbawamba. And I associate it with that song. Okay. But anyway, it was fun. It's not my favorite. Like, I think if I was a boy, maybe I would have thought it was funnier. So that's it for our What Right Now. Are we ready to go into our main discussion?
Mm-hmm.
All right, but first we're going to thank the listeners out there listening. Thank you so much. We love y'all. If you're not already, we'd love if you followed the podcast too for free on your favorite podcast listening app. Wherever you are listening, you can follow for free. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/@those-working-fangirls, you can subscribe for free. And that really helps us out because then you get the show every week. We don't have to worry about it not getting to everyone who wants to listen to it. We appreciate you. And if you didn't know, we are a viewer-supported show. So we have a Patreon, patreon.com/those-forking-fangirls. And we don't have many sponsors and there's not many ads because of viewers like you. And if you want to become a part of that community, we'd greatly appreciate it. The first tier is only $5 a month. So that's less than your Starbucks now in the year 2025. And with that, you get the show ad-free. You get to come to recordings and be a part of the conversation. And you get our half an hour extra show every single week, Fangirl Tea Time. And Fangirl Tea Time is a lot of fun. It's basically it's story time every single week.
It's like a very different pocket of what we talk about here, and it's really fun. I think even Christine and I were talking about doing like a best of just in case, like if you guys want to get into it.
We were thinking of doing like an archive so you can go back for certain stories once you're a patron. Because I wanted to listen to some of the stories again, and I was like, where did this happen?
I think you remember some of the things. It's like a little diary every week.
It really is of like our lives for the past 2.5 years. So it's super fun. And Sam says Fangirl Tea Time is my fave. Siobhan says the song is called Tub Thumping, so maybe the band is Chumbawamba. Sorry, that was back to Y2K. Anyway, yeah, we'd really appreciate you joining the community over there. You could do a free trial for 7 days, see if you like it, dip your toe in. And then if you want to commit for the year, you get 16% off, which is about a month and a half for free. And if you want to commit month to month, you got commitment issues or a little, you got to see, you can just do month to month and see how you like it. And we've got 2 other tiers too. So check them out, patreon.com/those-working-fangirls. And the link is in the show notes. So it's super easy. We love y'all. We love you all. And without the Patreon, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you. It's way more expensive to run a podcast than you might think and time intensive.
Disclaimer about the upcoming discussion. This is not about all men. We're not generalizing, just some men. So please.
We are generalizing and it's going to sound like generalizing.
Yes.
But we're just venting as single women who have had a hard time in the dating pool with men who are not the best.
So enjoy.
Today, we're talking about the male loneliness epidemic. Quote, I was doing some research about this, Natasha, and like scientifically, there's only like a slight difference in like the male uptick in loneliness compared to the female uptick in loneliness, but they're much more vocal about it, I feel like.
I think it's because this is the first time in history where
they're uncomfortable.
And like women don't need men to survive in this world.
Yes, they don't. Okay, let me just talk about the intro into this idea here. Well, this is like, it kind of feels irrelevant, but I think it kind of introduces the mindset of a lot of men going into a relationship and why they might end up lonely. But if you watch like Love is Blind and any of these reality shows where like love is the currency, and then they get interviewed and they're like, because they're in love and they're like, what's your favorite thing about her? Like, what do you love about her? And all these fucking men are like, I love the way she makes me feel. I just feel great when I'm around her. And I'm like,
no,
that's not fucking about her, bitch. And like the woman will be like, they'll be like, what's your favorite thing about him? Oh, he's so sweet. He's caring. He's always like, he's very smart. He's so funny. Like, if she's making you feel great, that's because she's very funny. She's so supportive. She's such a positive person. She makes me laugh. Like, I hate, and it happens over and over again, and no one ever says anything about it. And I had made a note about this in my notes, like, I want to talk about this, but I don't know where. And then I saw it pop up in my feed. Taylor Tomlinson mentioned it on some podcast she was on. I was like, exactly.
It's also just very egotistical of being like, oh, what do you like most about her? I like the way she makes me feel. And it's like not even that he doesn't even name some of the aspects of her personality that make up this woman, but the fact that all he cares about is the way he feel that what the work that she's doing to make him feel good about himself.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like subconsciously, I feel like it threatens his importance or his ego to talk about how she's this and that, like how she has good attributes. You know what I mean? He's like turning it on himself. And I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but it's built in because I think of the patriarchy and the way society treats men. Like women are there to make them feel good about themselves instead of it being a dual, exchange of positivity and good qualities. It's just like, I like
equal partnership.
Yeah. I like that she makes me feel great.
And that's just one of the things that adds into why women don't need men.
Yeah, Caitlin says the woman has to cater to his feelings. Siobhan says, this is reminding me of the thing where women want a man who makes them laugh, but men want a woman who laughs at their jokes. Oh.
I just want her to laugh at me. I just want her to laugh at all my jokes. Think that I'm so funny.
And make me feel like I'm a funny man. Yeah, and the fact that he feels so great, and maybe it's because she's making him laugh and like have fun, and he doesn't want to say it's giving like Mrs. Maisel.
So if a man were to ever say that about you, what would you do, Christine?
What would I do? I would, if he had the nerve to say, I love the way she makes me feel in front of him, I'd be like, excuse me, that is not what he asked you at all. What do you like about me? That's about you. Do you need me to teach you how to answer a question? Like, they would get a lecture.
Red flag, red flag.
Red flag of me, red flag them, right?
Yes.
What would you do?
Oh, I mean, I hope that a man wouldn't say that about me. If they did,
I mean, obviously.
I would do the same thing. I would bring it up and tell them how that's very wrong of him to say that.
And if they say, what else is there? Like the fucking Swan Princess, I'm going to go ape shit.
Caitlin says, this reminds me of Brittany Broski saying all of her situationships feel like the man is competing for her comedy and they're envious of her rather than appreciating it and loving that about her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is another reason also. Okay, so women have this has been like a trend since like I was in college, but like there are more women in college than men, and like men are just like less and less going to college. So there's like in the college world, there's less and less men for these women to date, and then I feel like that makes it so that like all these women actually get really comfortable being like hyper independent, and and they're all looking for like their people in their field that are their equal and stuff. I feel like that's contributing. I feel like in general, men are not like realizing that it's easy to like fix this problem if you actually stepped up and tried to be proactive and like work on themselves. You know, like I feel like
Yeah, I mean,
they don't understand what they're doing wrong.
Yeah, it's like the weaponized
Incompetence.
Yes. Which now that Alex knows that phrase, he also says that I do it too. So be like, I don't know how to do this.
Well, sometimes that's the only tool in our arsenal to get men off their ass.
That's
and
so
I'm
true.
Being 1,000% honest. Like, I can do many things, but when I assigned something to my significant other to do, and it was just their chore to do, sometimes they wouldn't do it unless I'm like, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm. Like, you would have to make them. Yeah.
You have to appeal to their, like, manliness. Like, be a man and help me, please.
Mm-hmm. Also, kind of got me thinking a lot as the new Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. Is it Benny Bianco or Benny?
I think it's Bianco.
Benny Bianco album came out. At first, I was like, "Ew, Benny," and now I'm like, "Oh my God, Benny!" I don't know if you guys have seen all these interviews that the two of them are doing. This man is the most emotionally mature man I think I have ever witnessed before.
He's very sweet.
Very sweet. He centers Selena in everything that he does. He literally said in an interview that he wakes up and he thinks, how can I make Selena's life easier today?
Oh, it is Blanco. I've been reading it as an uppercase I every time.
Just seeing that and knowing that, you know, even I judged him first for his outside is just so indicative of like the patriarchy in ourselves, right? And being able to hear him talk about his relationship with his fiance is so healing. And it's so wonderful to see him centering her and actually doing the work to make sure that he knows what he's talking about, and he can see those things inside himself that maybe are the patriarchy and maybe came from that like unhealthy part of our world. And I'm just so happy for them. I'm just so happy that they found each other, and she deserves this man, because holy crap, I want one.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew not to be like, I knew that he was going to be like that, but I knew he was going to be like this because I trust Selena's judgment, and I know that she loves him so much. So it was really nice to see him in all these interviews and have that like mean facade that like in general society has placed on him just because he doesn't look like who you would expect Selena Gomez to be with, kind of melt away because you got to know him. And I think that's part of why she wanted to do it, because she like, everyone would love you if they like took a second to talk to you.
He's also like so accomplished and also very successful,
talented.
In his own right, and talented. Yes. Caitlin says, yes, I see your likes, Natasha, on those videos. I'm in love with him. Give me one. I want a Benny.
I also think that like we're really in an age where women are getting super into romantasy and romance. You know, over the past 5 years, those have blown up. And I think what women are lacking in the relationships in their real lives, they are finding in these men written by women. And like, I honestly, as a writer, I'm like manifesting better partners by writing these men. I feel like I feel like all authors are like manifesting, if they don't already have a partner, they probably have great partners. Most romance writers are married.
Yes.
It's something that I've noticed as a single lady writing romance, which sometimes is a struggle because you go through these eras of like, does love even exist? Are there good men?
Wait, are there any like single like female authors out there that you can name?
Not huge ones.
Is Emily Henry married?
Yeah, she's married. Everyone's happily married that writes these books that have happy endings. I feel like it's not talked about enough that it's a whole different story writing a romance as a single lady. It's a different vibe.
Oh my
Different
gosh.
vibe.
There should be a panel on this at Romance Con or something.
That would be really funny.
They'd have to do some work. Like, who is actually... What if there's no one single who goes to those events besides you?
Who goes to what events?
Like the authors.
No single authors? There's got to be single author. I mean, I don't know if there's single author. I mean, there's got to be. That's not true. There's definitely single romance authors, but maybe they're not shouting about it from the rooftops. But I'm definitely like in the minority because the more I've gotten into this, the more I've like started paying attention. I'm like, happily married, happily married, happily married, happily married.
Yeah, Allie Hazelwood's married. Abby
Jimenez, happily married, lots of kids.
Aveyard. Both Christine and Lauren are married. Julie Murphy's married. Sierra Simone, is she married? I think she's married.
I think so, but I'm not 100. The only person I know that's not married, like that I follow, is Alexandra Bracken, and she's like not romance, but she did just write Romantasy. I think her first Romantasy. She has romance in her books, but like I think the first strictly like called Romantasy book she just wrote.
What about what's her To All the Boys I Loved Before?
I don't know if Jenny's married.
I don't think Jenny's married.
I don't think so. So maybe me and her. There's got to be other ones that we just don't know about. But like I've met a lot of romance writers at Romance Con, all married.
Yeah. Oh, Siobhan says Jane Austen never married. You know, that was like 200 years ago, but yes. I mean, she is a famous romance author.
Yes. But do all of her romances have happy endings?
Yes.
Okay, good. As I'm writing these happy endings, I'm like, fuck, I hope this manifesting it through, this manifesting works.
And that's the thing. It's like we still want, even though we don't need a man,
yes,
we still want one.
Well, this is also like we have standards and we will not settle for shit that's below our standards because we need a man. We don't need that. If it's going to make our life worse, then I don't want to fuck with that. Like something that's making my life more stressful. This is something I thought about a lot, like during the time where I was like living with my ex-boyfriend and we weren't together, like we had broken up, like in between all that gray area. Like if the relationship is not enriching your life and making you feel like life better, then why are we in it?
Yeah.
And especially if you're not married, I could see like if you're married, then there are going to be times where like you have to work through different things because like you're committed to each other in a different way. And a lot of times there's just eras where you have to kind of check in with each other and sit in the discomfort and work on whatever growing to the same spot together. But if you're in like a relationship that's not to that point and it's just making you unhappy, then like it's not worth it just to be like in a relationship.
Yeah. Because I feel like women back in the day, you know, they couldn't get bank accounts without a husband. Like they couldn't own businesses.
They couldn't own property.
I mean, like their father or some other male figure had to like. We're not just talking like in the turn of the century. Like
no,
this is.
That
like,
you couldn't have a credit card till like the 70s or something as a woman.
Well, yeah, ridiculous. And you couldn't file like you couldn't open a bank account without a man there until like maybe the late 80s, I think.
It's really depressing.
These are our parents. Like this is our mothers that had to go through this. And the 90s were a little different, and that's when it started like changing a bit. But like us in the last 10 years, like the women now and have been able to flourish and create businesses and be able to support themselves and themselves only. It's also what's really cool about like the influencer world too, is that generally most of the women in the influencer world, I mean, most of them are women. Like it's a women dominated industry, like being an online creator.
Is that like our bubble or is that like in general for surezies?
No, that's general for surezies. Like this is one of the only places where women can be their own, like where several women, numerous women have been able to create their livelihoods by being online creators. And it's the majority of them are women.
Another thing that's like very uneven right now is like the ratio of women to men on dating apps. So I got the stats vary from app to app, but like it's always men outnumbering women. And like the one I looked at was men are not, there's 9 men to every 1 woman on the app. And that's bananas. But like it's because women will go on these apps and like meet all of these inadequate men who can't even like hold a conversation with them, and then they'll just get off. But like the men, I feel like don't know what they're doing wrong and just keep doing it over and over again. Like I just feel like no one I had a conversation with a man on here, and I think this really illustrates like what a lot of the conversations are like. The guy, I'm asking him questions and he is answering like with like short 1-word answers, and I'm like, are you gonna ask me a question back? And he's like, oh, okay. And he does, and he's like, what's one thing someone wouldn't know about you from looking at you? I tell him mine. I'm like, what's yours? And he writes, I'm not a planner, period. That's it. And I like gave him a little essay about mine. I'm like, wow, you're really answering like a curmudgeon and in a movie or something. And he was like, oh no, I'm just busy. And he's like, it would be better on a phone call. And I was like, okay, I'm up for that. And then nothing.
Yeah.
Because, and I can only assume it's because he's not a planner. But this is a thing, like, if you're not a planner, then fuck you. I'm not planning our lives. Like, that's a red flag. Like, you have to be willing to put in the bare minimum effort on a text thing if you want women to want to go out with you. If you want, I'm not going to be like, here's my number, let's meet at this time. Like, you suggested the fucking phone call. At least ask for a number and set a time.
Siobhan says, my aunt never married. She has a super cool condo and travels around the world running marathons in different cities and sends Christmas cards every year with pictures of all the cool things she did that year. That helps me feel better about aging and being single. Yes.
Yes.
Metal says, I think single men have a harder time being just friends with women, but most women have both male and female friends. So men have fewer friendships like that.
You know, I actually saw a statistic that it's like men, like 50% of men don't have close friends.
Yeah.
Because of like toxic masculinity culture. It's kind of like, they don't share.
Not being able to have that kind of intimacy in relationships, and this goes for friendships, is seen as weak. You know, like being able to share their lives with people, and like I feel like men do that, are able to open up more with women in that sense.
Yeah. I think because of that very fact, it makes it hard for them to foster like very close friendships. Like women can find community amongst groups of women that it's like very meaningful and strong, and it feels like that it fulfills like their need for closeness in that way. And men don't have that, so it increases the loneliness. It's like a positive feedback cycle where like oftentimes no one's kind of telling them that if they just like tweaked this and this and this, then they would be able to form like really great relationships with women. But I feel like, especially in today's society, there's such like a growing number of men that I feel like feel this hatred towards women.
Yeah, because they think that we owe them everything. We owe them.
Yeah. Because of the fight for equality amongst all different people. This is definitely let's generalize about men. This whole episode.
It's not all men.
It's not all men. This is why I like wanted to preamble this. Like, it's from the point of view of two single women.
Yeah. But I mean, I can name like all of my friends' husbands are amazing, and that is what I'm aiming for.
No,
example.
It's hard to find them.
It's so hard. I went and I visited my best friend Heather and her new baby this weekend, and it was such a partnership, like watching the two of them take care of their newborn little girl. And as Heather was feeding her newborn and having her go to bed for the night, Cole was sitting in the room and giving her a foot massage, like while she was singing to her and feeding her. And it was just so beautiful to see like that partnership work. And I'm like, that is what I want. Like,
yeah. Should we talk about like green flags that we now look for in men that like are easy things to do?
Yes.
Like I get so touched when I'm like reading a book and the man just like brings her food unasked that she likes.
I love when a man just shows up when she's in like emotional turmoil. I think that's the other thing is like when a man doesn't turn away from emotions, like and goes towards it and is able to help people, doesn't matter who it is, be able to get over those emotions, and who's not scared to be around like an emotional outburst of some sort.
I love when you ask them to do something and they're just like, okay.
Or when you don't even have to ask.
When you don't have to ask, but like when it's a random request that they couldn't anticipate and they're just like, okay. Like, I don't know if you, if y'all out there have read Abby Jimenez's Fall Risk. It's like a little novella. It's so cute. And there's this one character that's like, she doesn't like date seriously, but there's this really sweet dude that she ends up dating, and she's just like, I'm throwing everything at him and he's just passing all my tests. And like, she's like, I'm going to ask him for $500 and then he's going to not want to be with me anymore. And he's like, oh, what do you need it for? Okay. And he's like, do you want me to Venmo it to you? And she's like, what's happening?
Siobhan says a green flag is when they tip well at the restaurant.
Yes.
I mean, also, I think a green flag is when, let's say you're meeting their family for the first time and they're not sitting on their fucking asses the whole time. Like, they're actually like in the kitchen and cleaning up.
Yes.
My uncles are so good at that. They will do all of that. Because like a lot of them cook. So I guess, but they cook and they clean up. That's the best part.
And that's such a green flag. Like helping with all the stuff around the house without being asked. So hot. So hot. Such a turn on. I can't stand seeing people just sitting. Like this has happened my whole life, and as like a form of protest for feminism. If I see all the men sitting on the couch not helping, I will sit on the couch and not help. Because I'm so furious.
Oh, I call them out. I say, okay, boys. But usually I don't have to do that because they already do it.
I've done this when they have told me to go up and help. I'm like, oh, are you going to help too? And if they don't get up, I don't get up. Because it was their people that they were like not helping, and I was like, excuse me, get up and help your significant other. I'm not here to help your significant other if you're not going to help your significant other.
Siobhan says my cousin's boyfriend sits in the corner on his phone at every family gathering, and I'm like, what?
Dude.
Sam says, I live in the South and it's so normalized for men to sit around and talk while the women cook and clean after the meal. Absolutely not.
Dude, Sam, it's normalized for my family too. It's always happens. Like all the women are in the kitchen and the men are sitting around the fucking TV on the couch. And I'm just like, ew. Ew, ew, ew. Like I think a huge green flag is a man cooking and like offering to cook and just has the ability to cook. I honestly think my not wanting to cook and not liking to cook is like an innate like response, like rebellion to the upbringing where like only the women were ever in the kitchen.
I love to cook.
I love cooking with a partner. I hate it by myself.
Yeah. Also, I think like when you're in the dating stage, them just like calling you randomly.
Yes.
Like taking the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And
to call and taking the initiative to like planning a thing.
Planning.
Mm-hmm. That's also such a green flag. Like I was saying, like I'm not a planner thing was such a red flag.
You know what it is? It's the being able to turn off your brain and let them do everything.
Yeah, that trend on TikTok.
Yes. That's like some of the girls at school talk about that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever been able to do that.
No. Because like I think we both kind of grown up in households where like you end up being hyper vigilant because of like a parent's wants and needs that you need to regulate. And so you're always like that. And to be able to like relax and trust your partner will be able to handle things for a second. It sounds like such a luxury.
It truly does. Yeah, I haven't really experienced, like we both just haven't been able to experience it. And
yeah, there were some aspects where like if they were driving, I would be able to like just chill, but like that's kind of the bare minimum.
But I also like don't want to turn off everything, right? Because I feel like that's what my mom kind of did, and then she lost control of like finances and things like that.
You want it to be like a give and take.
Yeah.
Like they can turn off their brain sometimes, you can turn off yours. Like it doesn't have to be all one way.
Max is my boyfriend made dinner tonight, brought me a plate of food with my pork chop cut into small pieces, and I didn't even have to ask. It was magical.
Oh,
but that's the bare minimum.
Food. Food is such a sweet like offering. Food that you like in the way you like it. I think also like not getting frustrated by like if someone truly likes you, then they're not gonna not want to be with you because like you can't eat this or that or you can't go to this place. Like I feel like being accepting of people's things is such a green flag. Like I went on this and
also being able to explain it to people and being able to vouch and stick up for your partner when they're in that situation.
Yes.
Of why they can't do certain things.
Like everyone has things that like restrictions on their like different themselves in different ways because of their health or on all different things. And I've been on dates where this is like such an issue. And I've been on dates where they're like, oh my God, it doesn't matter. Like what, like, can you eat here? Can we do this? Like, it's okay. And if I'm like, I'm anxious and I can't eat and then they don't make a big deal out of it. Like all of that stuff is really puts me at ease when it's like, it's not a thing that is made to feel like something that's making me an asshole. Because when your restrictions are made to feel like something that makes you undesirable, it's really sad. Yeah. Let's see. Caitlin says, I love when my boyfriend makes dinner or randomly bakes cookies. That's so cute. I have such bad IBS and he's so in tune and checks the ingredients and everything to make sure I can eat it. That's so sweet.
That's just a caring human. That's just what we're asking for.
Well, literally, the bar is so low.
That's so true.
The bar is so low. We're looking for, like, kindness.
And
like
care.
But it's so low that we're like, oh my God.
And consideration. Like that is literally being considerate and being kind. And also regulating your fucking emotions too. Just that's it.
Regulating their
their emotions.
Oh, like being able to regulate their own emotions. Yeah, being like emotionally intelligent. That I will never forget the season of The Bachelor that I watched and the one girl that like never stopped talking about emotional intelligence with Corinne. Like, okay, so Benny was talking about this in one of his interviews, but he's like, to continue what Natasha was saying, that he wakes up and like thinks about how he can make Selena happy, because when Selena's happy, he's happy, because when she's happy, she makes him happy and does things for him because she's happy and she feels love and she wants to do things for you. Like people want to be kind when they're receiving kindness.
Yes.
It makes everyone it's a positive feedback cycle in the other direction. Like when you're being shitty and when someone asks you like, oh, can you get me this? And you're like, I'm doing something like, and that's coming from your partner, that just makes you feel like you asked so much of them.
Well, it goes into the fact that women are having to rear their husbands and playing the mother figure in the role, and they don't have any space to be able to be a romantic partner because what they're doing is just mothering.
Yeah. And if it doesn't go both ways, like if they want to be cared for like in these ways and they're not caring for their partner in these ways back, like these nurturing ways, then like it's very unattractive.
Oh yeah. Like if women who want to be feminine have to be masculine in a sense in that relationship, like they're not going to be able to release that and be in their femininity in a relationship if they're having to do both of those roles in a relationship.
If you're just, it's like it comes down to like if you have to do everything, your partner's giving nothing back. What are you getting from this? And just you don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did turn into let's generalize about men, but I really thought it was going to anyway. It's really hard. I know that like I do have, I don't know, I have compassion for these people that are really struggling, but I feel like that don't have people in their lives to help them learn. Maybe they were raised in households that like really were not
abusive.
setting a good example. Yeah. And I hope that everyone in those situations like turns to therapy. Like I feel like therapy has been so normalized and destigmatized in our day and age. And I feel like a couple years in therapy really opens your mind in so many ways and helps you learn all of these things to help you with your relationships.
And if they don't have the resources, I mean, there are like free counseling types of situations, but like there is the internet, and the internet can help you if you're wanting to better yourself.
If you're open. Yeah.
If you're open. That is you have to
because
be
I feel like there's
first.
two ways, and it's really upsetting that like so they can easily be radicalized into like these hate groups.
Yes.
Because they don't have someone to help them and model for them. And you can easily fall into the pit. This is why like I don't like the word deserve, because like it can be radicalized in a bad way so easily. Like people like they could be like, I deserve this and I deserve that, just because for no reason. You know what I mean? Like there's no grounds. And it can get easily out of hand. And I feel like I've seen it radicalized in ways that encourage people to be hateful.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a whole show on Netflix right now called Adolescence. Alex and I watched like the first episode of it, and it's literally about the violence against women that is like seared into these young boys' minds from these online internet figures who like have hate speech against women.
It's the entitlement that comes out of that that way of thinking is like very upsetting when it's radicalized.
Yes. Also, men just should watch Lord of the Rings.
Why?
Because Lord of the Rings is like the perfect example of what like men's
They all watch Lord of the Rings, so they're not getting it from it.
I know, but it's like they want to have those friendships and like go on those journeys and like be intimate with other men in that way and like be able to express their emotions, but like they won't do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? because it's like,
yeah, I understand. Like they see it and they don't like, they're not processing it in the way of like they
like,
can do it too.
why is this story so special? Like,
Yeah, why do you like it?
Why do you like it so much?
The camaraderie is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can be Sam.
Samwise.
Be the Samwise of your friend group.
Even Aragorn's supposed to be like, the big tough guy in the group, but he's so emotional.
Yeah. I'm sorry to any men out there listening. We know that not all men. We've just had so many bad experiences. But I hope that like things start to swing in the opposite direction of like the direction of kindness. Like we're trying to manifest good men in our lives that are single.
Please. I know someone in my like IG Q&A, they're like, what are your thoughts on romance and for yourself? And I said, okay, well, let me get through beauty school first, and then I'll try it out again. But like I feel like I'm so ready. Like both you and I are so ready. It's just a matter of like
finding the right person at the right time.
And the pool gets smaller and smaller as we get older.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. Like I talked to my Jersey bestie Jenna today, and she's like, "Are you on dating apps?" And I'm like, "Once I finish the first draft of book 5, getting back on the apps, we're gonna be in our dating era in the summer." So we'll see. But yeah, I feel like I know what I want in a partner. And I just like, I need to locate them. I fall in love with all my love interests because I'm like creating these perfect men, and I'm like, oh, why is there anyone like this?
Yeah, your Tifafa man was top tier, baby.
Yeah, I mean, and Osprey, I feel like he's so cute. And like Zerar is just like so loving. I feel like all these men are so sweet and have like all these different aspects of like, and it's not that complicated. It's just being kind and understanding and like meeting your partner.
Yeah, meeting their needs.
And like reciprocating and all that stuff. Sam says, I think the men who know they aren't a bad person aren't upset about this topic. They're willing to learn and grow.
Siobhan says I didn't have many positive interactions with men growing up, so I had to unlearn a lot of negative opinions about them as an adult, and trying to work on that in the Trump era is interesting.
Literally.
Oh my God, yeah.
Same.
I think I grew up around pretty great men. I think I did. The people who are practicing this are my best friends' partners, and I see it every day, and I'm just like, God damn it, how do I find that?
Literally, like our friends' husbands are so wonderful and so nice and like so fun. And they've got all the things. I'm like, you guys like, and I'm like, I know why you married this person.
But it's also like not fair because a lot of them found them like in college age time, and they kind of grew up together, and they were able to like mold their lives around each other.
Yeah, but like
I guess Jenna's different because she found hers later.
Yeah, no, I mean like my best friend Jenna met her husband when she was like, I think she was 30 and he was 26, and so it was like it kind of feels like a big
I go younger
gap. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. And she was like, I know, but I swear you meet him and you feel like he's older than me. Like he's so emotionally mature. He feels more mature than me. And I was like, okay. And he's wonderful. And I'm just I talked about this at her wedding. Like it was so much fun meeting him because we sat down and he like talked to me with her for like 2 hours and answered all my questions. And it was like, that doesn't happen with like other people's, a lot of the time, like in my life, meeting people's significant others, like they don't sit down and like try to get to know me, but I'm their best friend. I'm their significant other's best friend. Like, why wouldn't you? You know, like that I've met a lot of her significant others over the years. No one has ever done that until him. And I know like obviously because he's the best one, they were getting married. But like that is such a green flag. Like when you take your significant other to meet your bestie and they like strike up conversation with them and make an effort to get to know them. And I have 2 specific incidences with one of my exes meeting my best friend where they like didn't ask any questions to them at all, and it was just made me feel like shit. I'm like, I'm so sorry, why am I dating this person who won't even take the second to like ask you anything?
Yeah, I'm just having the interest in knowing the people who are most important to your partner's lives is just, it should also be like the lowest standard. Does that make any sense?
I think the way you said it was just a little, I got confused.
Went a little off kilter there. Wanting to know your partner's friends should also be just like
priority
where the bar is.
Yeah. Yes. You know, the love interest in Say You'll Remember Me is so fantastic. Like when he comes over to her family's house, he's just like in there helping, making food, like doing everything.
That's what I want.
And I'm just like, oh, he's so wonderful. Like helpful men are goals. Because women are just expected to be helpful. Like if we're not helpful, they're like, ew, what a lazy ass. If a man is sitting on the couch, a lot of times in like my lifetime, it's just expected. Yeah. It's expected. Yeah.
And if they're in the kitchen helping, oh my God, he helps in the kitchen.
Can I get him flowers?
Oh my God, what a man. I also have to shout out Kayla's husband, Matt. He's the most wonderful, like crazy fun dude. I love him so much. He's also, I just want to give a little story about him. The women came home from a party and we brought home In-N-Out, and he comes downstairs in a cheetah robe. And he sits at the table and we all like share fun stories and he's all in there. I love when like a partner can literally just be absorbed and meld into the friend group. It is the best.
Yeah, it's very nice. I know that like isn't the case all the time, but I'd want my partner to at least try.
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes like people are shy, but like just being there and like trying to be a part of it, it means it's a flag of greenness. A green flag. Should we wrap this up?
Yes.
Okay. In conclusion,
not all men.
Not all men. Okay. We're gonna wrap this up with a Merry Kiss Cliff. Okay. Mary Kiss Cliff. Benny Bianco, Justin Bieber, Zayden Ryerson.
I'm sorry. Who's marrying Justin Bieber in this situation? That man is terrible.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna marry Zayden. Sorry. All the real people out there.
I'm gonna marry Benny.
I'm going to kiss Benny and Cliff Justin.
I'm gonna kiss Zayden and Cliff Justin.
Yeah.
2 happily married women.
That was our abstract discussion show. That was our dating vent. Thank you all so much for listening. We'd love to hear any of your feedback if you have it. We have Instagram at Those Forking Fangirls where you can comment. We love your comments underneath the YouTube. Like, your feedback means a lot to us, and seeing it makes us happy because it lets us know you're out there. We've talked about this in the past, but not in a while. It's so weird going from like creating content on YouTube where everyone's commenting to creating a podcast where it's like one comment. You're like,
because there's so much content in the whole episode.
Yeah, so like you just kind of forget what there is to comment on. But any commentary, we love to hear it. It's really nice to get the reassurance that people are out there. That they either enjoyed or had something to say about what we said, and we'd love to hear any of your thoughts. So you can also follow us on TikTok at Those Working Fangirls, or of course on the YouTube channel, subscribe for free. Our socials are run by Chloe Laverson. She's doing a great job, so make sure you're following those. Our show is edited by Emma Burton, Vergard, Natasha Polis, Christine Riccio, and Alex Polis. And our music is by Cole Jenkins with vocals by Heather Traska. We release new episodes every Friday. We are off to talk in Fangirl Tea Time. We'd love for you to join us. Again, the Patreon, it's available there. You could get a 7-day free trial, or you could subscribe for free. It's only $5 a month. That $5 goes a long way to helping us out and letting us live. This is our part-time job. And we would love to have you in that community. Like, we have so much fun with our patrons on the Patreon and in the chat every single episode. So, all right. Thank you all for being here. We love you. See you in Fangirl Tea Time. Bye. Bye. Oh, fuck. That was our Fangirl Tea Time noise. Hold on. Outro.